You know what they say, don't read the comments. Well, I read the comments. Welcome to Scarlett's Don't Read the Comments. Got a couple of good ones for you today, and wait till the end so that you can see pictures of one of my kitty cats. Which one will it be? I do have 4. Yes, we are those people. 4 cats. So without further ado, and quite a bit of don't, let's look at the comments. A couple of weeks ago, I did this video on Mike Winger and his argument from divine hiddenness, and William Brandt showed up to post this comment, "No, ever present, shouting at the deaf atheists," and we have this little winky smiley face at the end. You know, that's cute. Not sure what the winky smiley is supposed to communicate, but okay. I'm also not sure about the no at the beginning, because what question is William answering? Maybe the question, is God hidden? No, he's ever present. I don't know. We just have to make it up here on the Scarlet channel because we have no idea. But what I really liked about William Brandt's comment is the part about shouting at the deaf atheists. If you really wanted to make your presence known to a deaf person, I can think of no worse way than shouting. You would need to come up to that person and make visual contact, and then you could communicate with them. Maybe they can read your lips at that point. You won't need to shout. Maybe you would know sign language. Maybe you could write something down. There are so many better ways of going around making your presence known, making the person realize that you are there and that you want to communicate with them than shouting. Now, in this analogy, the deity is shouting at deaf atheists, and I'm guessing that Christians think we are being deaf on purpose. But in this analogy, if we are deaf, then the deity must know that we can't hear him, them, her, whatever the deity is, and needs to find a different way to communicate with us. So in a way, William Brandt is pointing out what the problem is. God has created us deaf and is shouting at us and is not finding the right way to communicate with us. So, he should find a different way. Of course, I don't believe in the deity, and I don't think there's anything shouting at us, but I would presume that the all-knowing, all-loving creator of everything would know how to communicate with me, and it wouldn't be shouting at me because I'm deaf. They would find some way that I can receive. Once again, shouting at deaf people, not a way to get your message received. All right, moving on. On that same hiddenness video, the Best the World Has to Offer channel left a comment, and my oh my, is that a boast? Really? Is your channel the best the world has to offer? I didn't go look. I have no idea, but that's quite the boast you have there. I'd like to know if that's actually true. No, I don't. I really don't care. You can say anything about your channel you want. We're not here for that. We're here for the crazy comment you left. All right. So anyway, God's fingerprint is all over the place. Lack of apostrophe. So multiple gods and only one fingerprint. All right. Okay. God's fingerprint is all over the place. The Bible says we will be without excuse when we are judged. That should be 2 sentences, but oh well. We didn't come from a rock after all. And I guess they watch a lot of Kent Hovind, because I don't know anybody else that says that. No, we didn't come from a rock. And only dumb Kent Hovind says shit like that, but oh well. So you say God's fingerprint. Okay, we'll just give the typo there. Okay, fine. There's one God and there's one fingerprint, but it's all over the place. So my response is, I don't see a fingerprint. There's nothing that I see that looks like any kind of fingerprint. And so my question is, how do you see God's fingerprint? How is that manifesting apparently all over the place? Are you just thinking DNA? Because DNA does not look like a fingerprint to me. It doesn't even look like a blueprint to me. It's just chemicals in action. But okay. The Bible says we will be without excuse when we are judged. Well, the Bible also says in Song of Songs 5, I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb and my honey. I have drunk my wine and my milk. Eat, friends, and drink. Drink your fill of love. And I think that's much better than the other stuff. But seriously, I don't see God's fingerprint, as I've already said, and I really don't care what the Bible says. How do you know that the Bible is correct in saying that we will be without excuse when we are judged? I mean, Paul's the only one that says that. Where else does it say that in the Bible? And by the way, nobody in the Old Testament cared about being judged in that way. Judgment was all about not having Israel as a place. But I will agree with you, we didn't come from a rock. Let's move on. The last comment I have for you today is one that I actually like a lot. It was on the video Atheists Aren't Sincere in Their Search for God, parens, Divine Hiddenness, so it connects to the ones we were just looking at. It is from David Watches, who writes, "One of the biggest claims I heard as a Christian regarding answered versus unanswered prayer was less about divine hiddenness and more confirmation bias. That is the old yes, no, or later shtick. If God answered your prayer, you were asking for the right thing at the right time. If he didn't answer it, then one of two things happened. Either you were asking for something that wasn't right for you, or it just wasn't the right time, and your prayer will eventually be answered. So no matter what happens after you pray, God answers your prayer. It just may not be the way you like. So full-on confirmation bias, which is the same result you would get from praying to a jug of milk." That kind of thing always reminds me of the Onion article from a long time ago. The headline reads, "God answers prayers of paralyzed little boy. No, says God." It is a really funny article. And you know, I've heard this yes, no, or later shtick in woo circles as well. Instead of God, it is the universe, so the universe is answering your prayers or whatever, like the things you want. If you get them, it's what's meant to happen. If you don't get them, maybe it'll be later. But I think that this is the problem with a lot of apologetics and people who find ways to believe in God no matter what happens. And ultimately, I think this is the problem. If I want to believe in God, I can find things that I can prop up and say, oh, look, there's God. Oh, look at the trees. How could they be here if there wasn't a God? Oh, we have consciousness. How would we have consciousness if there wasn't a God? Oh, look at all this wonderful stuff. Oh, I got what I wanted. Must be answered prayer. Didn't get what I wanted. Well, you know, God works in mysterious ways or whatnot. For the believer, anything can be proof of God. And for me, you know, I need something else. Just because life exists, it doesn't mean that there is something behind it. It's not because we have consciousness that there's some ultimate consciousness or anything like that. And I just have to say, if some people feel like God is just so obvious and they think that God is making it possible for them, then he should be able to do that for all of us. If he is the author of all of this, he should be able to find a way. If he wants to contact me, he should be able to find a way. It's not up to me to be listening properly or to say some incantation or to be doing the right things. So if you're a Christian and you think he's obvious, great. Why don't you pray that he shows a sign to all the atheists who are just so dumb and deaf and whatever else you want to say about us. Maybe you should do that prayer. But let's go on to something that we do know exists, and that is my kitty cats. And today I have two pictures of the cat Susie Q. I haven't shown her in a while, and I got two very cute snaps of her. Here she is looking a little unimpressed on the bed, wondering what the hell the human is doing. And in the next one, she is rolling on the floor. She's one of those cats that flops on the floor, and she's just mighty cute. Well, that's what I have for you today from the comments section. What did you think of these comments? Why don't you put your own comment down there so we can say comment some more and make some more comment videos. You know I do love to read your comments. And as usual, you can do all the YouTube stuff, the liking, the subscribing, and all of that. And if you like what I do, you can buy me a coffee. That link is also in the description below. And I will see you next time for something interesting. Bye for now.